Welcome to the Just Music Podcast. I am your co-host, Jalen.
And I'm your other co-host, Marco.
And this episode is very last minute, bro. I know you and I, I think you hit me up like literally Sunday. Was it Sunday or Saturday? You was like, hey, like
One of those days.
yeah, you was like, let's get together and talk about what's going on in rap right now. Cause unless you've been living under a rock, you know that Kendrick Lamar and Drake, and I guess you can say all of hip hop has been in this civil war. but
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gotten to the point where even the mainstream media outlets are starting to talk about it. Like I think ABC News is talking about it. It's like headlines are like,
really,
oh, rappers Kendrick Lamar and Drake are in this ongoing beef of sending several disses. And I'm like, it's kind of sad that this is major news in the world today.
yeah,
But yeah, it's insane.
yeah,
It's
it's really
insane.
crazy. Um, and to the listeners of Just Music, y'all played a role in Marco and I recording this episode because after Marco was like, "Yeah, bro, like we should definitely record an episode talking about this." I was like, "Oh yeah, for sure, let's do it." I made a poll on our Instagram and I was like, "Do y'all want us to talk about the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef?" Excuse me. And I think like 92% of the votes said yes, please. So I was like, okay, so that's further confirmation that we got to do this. So, all
And
right,
neither, even if it said no, we were still gonna do it anyways.
yeah, we're still going to do it because this is just good content, right? It's just too good. So I mean, where do you want to start, man? I mean, so
Uh, well, I forget why do Kendrick and Drake not even like each other? Like in the first place.
so from what I've read and what I've heard is so back in so for those who follow Drake and Kendrick Lamar pretty closely, uh, and for those who don't, so back in 2011, um, Drake took Kendrick Lamar on tour.
Oh yeah, that was when it was the Take Care album. Yeah.
Right. And and I'm sorry, that was in 2012. So after 2011. So back in 2012, Drake took Kendrick Lamar on tour, and Drake was basically like helping Kendrick Lamar get some more notoriety because at this point in Drake's career, he wasn't like the big megastar that he is now, but he was definitely a rising star, and so was Kendrick. It's just that Kendrick just released or is coming. He's coming off the release of um, Good Kid, Mad City, while Drake he was touring the Take Care album, like you said. And on that tour, Drake had Kendrick Lamar and he had ASAP Rocky. Um, and also with those three artists, they also did a song together called Effing Problems later that year with 2 Chainz. And so I guess like on this tour, like it's a star-studded tour. And then at that point in time, Drake and Kendrick Lamar, they were cool. Like they weren't like best friends or anything, but they were cool. And then in 2013, Kendrick Lamar hopped on a song with Big Sean called Control. And in that song, Kendrick Lamar, he basically threw shots at like the entire rap industry. And he said, I got love for y'all, but I'm trying to murder y'all. And he meant that in a figurative sense, of course, but he was basically saying, like, yo, like, even though I like really respect and love all the rappers that we got in this industry right now, like I'm trying to be the best. And like I want to be number one. So just so y'all know, like, yeah, I rock with y'all, but like I'm trying to dominate the game, right? So it's just showing some competitive spirit. And Kendrick, he basically aimed that verse at Lupe Fiasco, J. Cole, Big Sean himself, who he's on the song with, Drake, Big Crit, um, Meek Mill, Mac Miller. I mean, so many all the rappers that were like out at that time and popping and rising. So
Yeah.
and I guess since then, um, Drake and other rappers, they just kind of took that as like a threat or as like a sign of like, oh, like Kendrick Lamar, like he's not really trying to be my friend for real. Like, he's trying to be like a respectful colleague, but like he's really like, if he wants to, like he's gonna take the number one spot. So I guess that's kind of where this beef started. But then like over the years, Drake and Kendrick Lamar always remained kind of cordial. Like we never heard about them being in the same uh venue, like the same spot at the same time or whatever. We never heard about them hopping on another song together because that was after Poetic Justice, which was on the Good Kid, Mad City album in 2012, and then the Buried Alive song on the Drake's Take Care album in 2011. Those two have never been on a song. They've never released another song together um, again. And so yeah. So I guess fast forward or throughout from 2012 all the way up to 2024, Drake and Kendrick Lamar, they've been releasing or throwing subtle shots at one another. Like there's been speculation on certain songs by Kendrick Lamar, like the Heart Part 4 and other songs that Kendrick put out, where he's like subtly throwing shots at Drake, and then Drake subtly throwing shots at Kendrick Lamar. But I mean, Drake, he throws subtle shots at almost everybody. But they were basically like throwing subtle shots at each other, basically trying to critique each other's like sound and rap style, and just keeping the competitive fire going. And then this was just a year where like they both just decided to crash out on one. So that's kind of like an overview of how this.
Well, it didn't really escalate until the Metro Boomin song when with like that with Future, because originally it all started with Future and Metro Boomin kind of dissing Drake over some stripper that they were both sleeping with.
Yeah, and
And he would just happen to be a feature a feature on that. But I think Kendrick Lamar wasn't just dissing Drake. He was also just dissing Drake Cole, J. Cole, because of the first person shooter song on the For All the Dogs album, where Drake was talking about how it's like the big three or whatever. And it's like him, J. Cole, and Drake, him, J. Cole, and Kendrick. But then Kendrick was just like, no, it's just me. And then
yeah,
that's where that kind of like ignited it a little bit. And that song is pretty good though. I can't lie. And
yeah,
that beat is so it's damn catchy and it's corny as hell. I've seen so many funny TikToks and reels using that.
yeah.
It's
So
so funny. And I don't know why, I feel like Metro Boomin, that's like his way of dissing Drake in a way of having a goofy ass beat and still having these legends rap over it and things like that.
oh yeah,
Um,
for sure. And like you said, um, the song like that with Metro featuring Kendrick really ignited it, and it's crazy because like people are saying like, yeah, Kendrick is so it's weird. Like on the first person shooter with J. Cole and Drake, I think somebody said Drake wanted Kendrick, or no, I think maybe it was just J. Cole that wanted Kendrick on it. Or maybe it was J. Cole and Drake. And then Kendrick was like, nah, I'm not doing it. So I don't know. But even on the song like that, where Kendrick was throwing shots, he did kind of throw shots at J. Cole, but he was the only reason why J. Cole got hit with a